This is week 5 of quarter 1, Intro to Color Theory. This week we'll be exploring complementary colors. Supplies you'll need this week will be crayons or color pencils or markers. I'm going to be using markers today. So the first thing we want to do is fold our paper into 3 sections. The best way to do that is to roll it until the ends meet and then press down to make a crease. It won't be perfect, but you will have 3 almost equal sections. You can even bend it back just to make sure that it is folded all the way. So now that we have our 3 sections, we're going to start on one side of the paper with pencil. So we want to start with one continuous line that goes from one end of the paper to the other. You want to add some curves and bumps in there to give it some character. Now yours is not going to be exactly like mine, but similar. Once we have the first line completed, we are going to copy that line just above the line we've already drawn. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to match. Now, once we've done a line above, we're going to do a line below. So you're going to trace your line once above and then once below. And you'll notice that the pattern is different above than it is below. And that's how it should be. We're going to continue this pattern until our page is filled. So the best way to make sure that we have equal amount of lines and that we're continuing one line across the page is to do one line on the top and then do a line on the bottom and then go back and do another line on top and then another line on the bottom. So alternating above and below until the page is full. Make sure when your pencil does go off the paper or it's inside another shape that we are continuing that same line to make sure we have the equal amount of lines we need in order to complete this project correctly. Now, once we're finished, we're going to move on to color. Remember, this project is using complementary colors. So 2 complements would be red and green. Another 2 would be yellow and purple. And our last 2 would be blue and orange. Each section is going to have a different set of complementary colors. So as you can see, I folded over my first section as to not color into my second section. And I'm going to be using red and green. Now the reason we were careful with our pencil lines is so that we have alternating colors. So we want to make sure we have red, green, in that pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and first do all of my red sections, making sure I skip a line in between for my green until all the red lines are finished. Then I'm going to go in and fill in with my green marker. So now that all the red is finished, I'm going to start with green. So you can see that we have a pattern of red, green, and so on. And that will be our first section. Now remember, you don't have to start with red and green, but you want to make sure that you have one set of complementary colors that alternate. So now that I'm finished with section 1, I'm going to fold back my other 2 sections and start section 2. And the complementary colors I'm going to be using will be yellow and violet. Again, I'm going to start with one full line of yellow to map out where my line is. And then I will alternate skipping a line and finish out all the yellow sections before I go in and add my violet in between. And now that the yellow is finished, I'm going to go in with my violet marker every other line. For my third section, my complements will be blue and orange. And I'm going to continue this just as I did before. And what I am doing here is lining up what color I wanted my orange to line up with. So I wanted the orange to line up with the violet. So I just opened that up to make sure that the line continued from the violet into orange. Then I did every other line until all the orange sections were completed. Then I'll go in with my blue marker to finish out the pattern. Now that all the sections are completed, you can see your complementary colors sitting right next to each other. So you have red and green, yellow and violet, and blue and orange. Don't forget to submit your assignment on Schoology for full credit. Click that like button and have a nice day.